All right, guys, your buddy Kintips here. Today we're doing a comparison of the MTEN4 versus the Begode Falcon, and I'm at my parents' place, and I usually keep my MTEN4 here. So, anyways, just imagine the Falcon being here, and the Falcon will be in the subsequent part of this video. Anyways, let me give you the rundown. So this has Samsung 50E cells, 750 watt hour battery. I can get pretty good range on this thing. I can probably get about 45 kilometer, 45 kilometer range on this. It's not too bad. And it depends on how fast you go, of course, but it gives me a pretty good range. This is a really nice wheel. I like it. I actually love this wheel because it's so easy to ride. It's very, yeah, it's actually pretty fast. I've gone up to like top speed 40 kilometers an hour on this thing. So, and it's really nice. Some people don't like it because it's kind of squirrely. It is if you don't know or if you're not used to riding it. But I'm used to riding this type of wheel, and I find it very easy. You can go up curbs, down curbs, you name it. So, and I found this much better than my V8F. If I had a choice, I would probably go back and revisit that and actually just buy an MTEN4 instead. So, but anyways, let's get back to this. So yeah, with comparison wise, this actually is almost very similar to the Falcon. Smaller size, of course, but and of course smaller wheel. But the ride is very similar to the Falcon. Okay, so because when you get up on a higher speed when you're riding the Falcon, it becomes kind of unstable. Okay, so same thing like with this. If you go up to a higher speed, it becomes kind of unstable. So, and otherwise, it's actually really good. And the only real difference is the suspension with the Falcon, and of course, it's slightly bigger and more comfortable to ride. So over like long periods of time. But they're both really good wheels. I like them both, but this is much cheaper. Like, if you compare like price wise, the Falcon is kind of overpriced, guys. Like, it's almost the same price as my S16 Pro, and I got this under $1,000. Okay, so and that's under $1,000 Canadian. Okay, so that would only be about 800 750 American dollars, which is a steal. This for a EUC, this for 750, this wheel is a steal. And if you think about it, the Falcon, I believe, is $16.99 in the US. So it's like less than half the price of a Falcon. And what you're really getting is that suspension. So yeah, it's a tough, it's a tough thing. So because they both do well, they're both good trick wheels. This is just way cheaper, very fun to ride. But going downstairs, I probably would not go downstairs on this thing. Okay, just because you're probably gonna break the kickstand here because there's not enough clearance. So yeah, it's not like a downstairs wheel or anything like that. But it's a nice travel wheel, last mile wheel, very nice for a ride. It's got your basic headlight. It does not have a spin kill button. Okay, so this is the drawback, and it is not waterproof. Okay, there's another drawback there. So every time you have to lift it up or anything, you have to turn it off. So tail light's good. You can actually change the tail light colors with a firmware update. I've never done that. I don't want to brick my wheels, so that's why I've never bothered. And this is also another tubeless tire. So they both have the tubeless tires anyways. So otherwise, guys, it's a pretty nice wheel. It's got a display on top as well. And yeah, and you can buy a trolley handle for this, but then you have to install it yourself. Not worth it, guys. Just lift it up. So, but yeah, all right, guys, stay tuned for the Falcon part. And if you have any questions, let me know. I do have Velcro set up on this for padding. I did have pads on it at one point, and then eventually I don't even need pads to ride this thing anymore now. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, your buddy Kintips here. Thank you for tuning in. this is my MTEN4 and Begode Falcon comparison. So pretty easy. I'm actually charging it right now. I just finished my range test on my Falcon. You guys can watch the video coming up. It'll be soon. So I'm still compiling the video and editing it. But yeah, so going back to this has of course, bigger battery compared to the MTEN4, but and it just finished charging. But it works really, it's a great wheel. I like it. Super easy to ride. The street tire gets some getting used to. I'm used to the street tire now, so I will tell you, I slipped on some grass on this on a hill, so it is not grippy, okay, and you will slide, okay. So don't go out to like slippery grass areas and do crazy things like I did. I did it like a sharp turn and up a hill, down a slope, and that was a mistake. So this slid right out of like it literally yeeted me right off the wheel, just slipped underneath. I didn't really, I fell, but I didn't really get hurt. So you guys can see that on my range test. I'll post the video where I fell too. So yeah, the street tire kind of sucks on grass or any type of terrain, of course, because there's no grip on this thing. It's super slick. It's a slick tire. If you oiled this tire, you'd be slipping on pavement. So but yeah, but I will say the street tire, like I said, once you get used to it, it zips, and it zips pretty good. And it takes very little effort, and that's, like I said, that's the good thing about the street tire, I guess. And when you ride, you do get that gyro effect with it. But once you get used to it, you turning and things like that, it gets pretty easy. And it only happens when you do sharp turns. So sharp turns at a fast speed. So but yeah, let's go back to the wheel. I really like this. It has the suspension compared to the MTEN4, but the MTEN4 is just fun to ride. Like, even though it has no suspension, you can zip on that thing really quickly as well. But going off curbs and things like that, it sort of like, it kind of hurts you. So by going off curbs on this Falcon, you don't even notice it because of the suspension, which is nice. Like I said, it's a basic suspension. It's not really plush, but it is a good suspension, and it's nice to have it. Compared to MTEN4, like when you go off curbs, you really feel it in your knees, right? So, but like I said, it's not like, you just bounce with your knees, so you just get used to it. But yeah, the MTEN4 is fun. I like it. I still ride it. It's still my favorite wheel because you can zip really good. You can go up. I can go any terrain on that thing because it has a knobby tire. Maybe when I switch this out to a knobby tire, I'll have the same effect as the MTEN4, and I'll enjoy it more. But in the meantime, the MTEN4 is still, I can go on any terrain on that thing. And it's very easy to ride. It's very easy to jump on that thing and come off curbs and stuff like that as well. But like I said, you don't want to make sure you get enough clearance, or else you're gonna break off the kickstand. So, but yeah, this wheel is great because it has high pedals. High pedals means you're not gonna scrape your pedals, and you can do these sharp turns and things like that. That's the nice thing about the high pedals. And yeah, I really like the Falcon for that reason. And it does give me more range than the MTEN4. But yeah, it's a basic wheel. They're both basic wheels. Now, the metal they use to make this Falcon is the same type of metal that they use to make the MTEN4. So it's the sheet metal that they use. Like, if you feel it right there, that's the same type of metal they use on the MTEN4 chassis. So yeah, it's not really, like, if you guys fell on the MTEN4, the frame itself isn't that durable. So, but it's all right. It's a wheel that you're not in. You don't really care if it's so light, anyways. So you're gonna bang that around. It's your last mile wheel, anyways. This is also a good last mile wheel as well. It's super light. I do like. I've gotten used to the padding, so the padding is really good for me, and it fits well. The only thing is you might have to get used to the bottom part here, for your ankles. Other than that, yeah, it's a good wheel. Trolley handle is really nice. Like, this beats it because it does have a trolley handle. The MTEN4 doesn't have a trolley handle. You have to buy it separately and install it yourself. And apparently the trolley handle is not even that good. So, you're better off just carrying it. I do wish the latch was better on the Falcon. But yeah, these are just minor gripes. And if you do end up getting it, I would probably get this with the knobby tire. It's just because then you can go off road, you can go on any terrain, and it just makes more sense to have a knobby tire on this. So I was, I thought the street tire would be good, but that's what I got it with. So, and then yeah, but I do have a knobby tire. I did purchase a knobby tire, so I can change it later. But I'm not sure how to do that part yet. And I still don't have the tools to change the tire. So, guys, let me know what tools you used if you changed your tire, and that'll help me out to see which one what tools I need. But otherwise, yeah, that's the comparison. And price wise, though, this is the only drawback. This machine is way overpriced. Like the MTEN4, I got it for under $1,000. So Canadian, that would be like $750 American. Like they do pretty much the same thing, and they're pretty like close to each other. If you only had like, if you're like, oh, I need to get a Falcon and things like that, and you're like, well, the M104 actually is pretty good wheel for what you pay for it. For 750, you can't go wrong. This thing is like $1,600, which is like American dollars, which is crazy if you think about it, and because it's a very basic wheel, so it's not like anything super special about it. And if you compare it to like the S16 Pro, S16 Pro is built, has more features, built better, things like that. So, it's priced a little too high. That's my opinion, guys. All right, guys, stay tuned more videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.